Hey everybody, I wanted to jump on really quickly and do a few of your assignments this week. They are explained in the announcement that I'm expecting you to check on each week, and I wanted to go over that one more time because I think sometimes maybe people aren't checking in the right places. So every Monday I send out an announcement for the week, and that's sent out through email and is put on the announcements page. And then throughout the week I may do a little reminder. This week I'm doing the video, but last week I did do a little midweek reminder on some things. So I try my best to communicate. There's nothing worse than being in an online class and not having any connection with the instructor or the course. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to bother you with it. But so first you'll always want to click into the announcements, and hopefully you're seeing that first when you click into the course. And again, that's repeated in an email. Then the second place you should go for the week and for your daily activities in the course would be weekly assignments. So go there next. And then on my page you're going to see a couple of weeks in there because all the weeks are sort of hidden to you, but I can see them. But right now we're in week 2. It went from Monday and it'll go through Sunday, June 2nd. So I'm going to go ahead and click in there, and you'll notice that at the very top I've repeated everything that was in the announcement. I sort of copy and paste it. Sometimes I'll change up or add some conversation to the announcement page, but it's pretty much going to be the same thing. I always highlight your deadlines and everything. I try to organize it. I try to think about how I would want it if I were a student, and I try to organize it for you. And I try to explain as best as I can. If you ever have a question, just ask and I'll answer the question. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is narrowing down your topic. So last week you were supposed to do some preliminary research, and then you had a discussion board, and I've already gone in and put comments on every student's discussion board who posted. Some of you didn't post, so if you didn't post you got a 0. Discussion boards are required. I do grade them. So if you post appropriately with a 350 word post, you get up to 60 points, and each of your required responses to classmates gets up to 20 points. So that's the 100 that you would get for that grade. So if you do all of these things, you get a quick, easy 100, and if you don't, you get a 0. And then sometimes there's an in-between, like maybe you only responded to one classmate. That means automatically you get 20 points taken off. So anyway, going back to this week, I did have some comments back on some topics because I felt like they were a little too broad. So I know some of you are in high school, or you're just gotten out of high school, and this is for anybody, but I know in high school sometimes in a writing class you just sort of pick a very broad topic like penguins or whales or GMOs or something like that, and then you research it, you write a paper, and you move on. This class is different. You're picking a topic in your career field, you're narrowing it down to an issue, and then you're claiming something about solving that problem or issue within your field. So some of you picked very broad topics. I feel like it might have been the first 2 or 3 things you saw that came up on the Google search. And I don't want you to do that because we're not doing a career exploration. We're doing issue-based things. So that's why I suggested maybe watching some TED Talks, going to the professional organizations to see what some of those organizations are posting on their websites or posting in Facebook. I had suggested Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, professional organizations. Like I think one of the ones I saw was the National Association for Nursing. I followed probably about 4 or 5 of professional sites and organizations for my career, which would be teaching English and teaching English at a community college. And I often go in there and see what research is being done, what problems are being solved, and that's what I want you to do. I had suggested TED Talks because I think that's something that might be fun, or like YouTube, just to sort of get the energy for your career, what people are discussing. So for instance, some people posted burnout or trying to retain nurses, like over too much turnover in nursing. That's a good start, but you're going to have to dig a little deeper. So in that case, you would want to look for what problems are being solved in those areas. So if it is a burnout situation, hospitals can't keep nurses to staying in a job for very long, then what is happening to solve that? Or if you were given that task, you work at a hospital and you're the lead nurse, how would you solve that problem? How would you get nurses to stay? How would you help communication in the nursing field or engineering field or whatever field you're researching? So I gave the example last week of the student who wanted to be a nurse, and she wanted to be a neonatal nurse, and she had researched and found about the kangaroo care to help premature babies get healthier faster and then go home faster. So she had taken the very broad nursing down to an interest in prenatal care. I always say prenatal. Premature care, neonatal care. And then she had brought it down to solving the problem of health for those babies. So then she found the kangaroo care solution. That's what I'm wanting you to look for. And I feel like some of you need to dig a little deeper. You got to go back to the drawing board and not really necessarily pick something new, but narrow the topic or the interest further. My example was showing you the top 5 problems in nursing, but I really want you to do something more unique than those top 5. Those are overdone. They're done all the time. They're talked about all the time, but we're looking for real world solutions. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to email me and I'll look at yours specifically. But I did give feedback to each and every one of you who posted in the discussion board. Okay. So this week, to continue your exploration of your topic and to narrow it further, I have an interview assignment. It's due on Monday of next week, and that's because of the holiday. I felt like a lot of you wouldn't have been able to do much work with professionals on this past Monday, so I made the deadline for June 3rd. Okay, so here's your folder for the interview, and I put it in a folder just because there was so much. I didn't want it to be too spread out. So some of you may not have done an interview before. I gave you some tips. And I also gave you some questions that you can look for. Don't copy what I've done. Do some unique things on your own. I don't want to spoon feed you or prescribe to you. I just want to help you along the way. The interview tip sheet just tells you maybe how to ask for an interview, how to conduct an interview if you've not done one. One of the big things I would say that I would have an expectation for is for you to send a thank you email. Follow up, even with a card if you would like to. If it's a personal friend or someone that you can get the card to, a handwritten note goes a long way. They'll always remember that, and you may need a job from these people soon, one day, and so it would be nice if they remember that you were very polite and that you thanked them for their time, because these professionals get paid by the hour or get paid through salary, and they're doing this for you for free. So even if it's your aunt doing the interview with you, or even your neighbor, make sure you thank them. That'll go a long way. All right, so the interview assignment is here. Everything is explained in there, so click in there and read the assignment. And then I've already done part of the work for you. I have created the interview chart, and I want you to use this chart. Don't recreate it. Don't give me something different. I want to see this chart returned to me in the assignment. So that I've got to click through here because it's opening everything up. Okay, so this is a Word document. You can type in here. Okay, and so that's what I expect you to do. Type in these spaces. Make sure that you have downloaded and are using Microsoft Word through the 360 program that JCC gives you through the Gmail account. Don't try to use a different program. It will not go through Blackboard. I will not be able to see it, and your grade will be affected. So this is not in PDF, so you can type into it. All right, in this assignment, I'm asking you to come up with 5 questions. I want these to show academic rigor for college work. You've already been through English 111 and you're all college students. I want to see depth to these questions. So I don't want to see any questions like, how much do you make? Or do you like your job? Yes or no? That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for something that shows insight and shows rigor and shows thought for the question. Okay, so you're going to come up with 5 and they're going to answer those. And support and encourage you to come up with some questions that will help you narrow your topic further. Maybe in your preliminary research you found some things that were interesting to you. Incorporate those into the questions and maybe you'll get it narrowed down further. You'll get their sort of feedback on those questions. Then I've given you, I think it's 6 questions. So you have to ask those as well. And the most important one to me is the one where you're asking them about current issues or controversies in the industry. A lot of students, that's where they find their direction with their semester-long topic. So remember, you're going to keep one topic for the whole semester. After this interview, you don't get to change it. So after this interview, we're going to go into some real scholarly research, and at that point, I do not let you change your topic. So that's a great way to do some follow-up questions with them about that, sort of see what they're discussing, what the real problems are happening. Then we'll scroll down a little bit, and we see that I'm asking you for a reflection paragraph. I am telling you that this paragraph is worth 25 points, and I want to see 25 points worth of written work. So this would not be 3 sentences, in and out, did the interview, enjoyed it, I'm done. This needs to be a true reflection of your experience, what you learned, what you gathered, the experience, how it helped you with your topic or how it didn't help you with your topic. I want you to reflect. You can use first person. In this class, we'll talk a lot about using first person versus third person. First person is your personal experience, and third person would be just regular nouns, and then he, she, or it. You are never to use second person, that's you. Second person you is only used with personal communication, and this is academic communication, so no second person you. All right, the other thing that I would like for you to include is the person's full name, their title, and their contact information. And you're about to see my dog. I have a dog. I'll just let you see her. There she is. Her name is Piper. She has to always touch someone, so I apologize for that. She was not behaving during the interview. But anyway, I want to see full academic discovery here. And I want to see their name, their title, their job, where they work, and then a contact. You can do an email or a phone number. I don't contact everybody, but if I have a question or if I think that maybe the interview was made up, which some students have done in the past, then I would check behind and make sure that this is a real person who did the real interview. So, okay, so here you'll type your question in here, you'll type your response over here. Here I've already given you the question, and then you'll ask that question and then put the response. And down here, I want you to put the person's name, title, where they work, and phone number or email. In some cases, you may want to contact someone who has retired recently. You need to talk to someone who's probably retired in the last 2 years, because since this is an issue-based inquiry, I want it to be something that's a current issue. I don't want you to interview someone who just graduated and hasn't gotten a job yet, or someone new to a job. I want someone that's a little seasoned so they can speak to the career. Okay, so that's that. Let me get out of there. I don't want to save it. It's already in there for you. All right. So a couple of notes is don't procrastinate. You can't contact somebody on a Friday and they're going to be available on a Friday. Try to reach out to them if you haven't already tomorrow morning, first thing. I don't extend the interviews. I just don't. We have to move on to the next thing, especially for summer. And so your lack of planning will not create an extension. Also, if you reflect back on the syllabus, you are graded in 2 categories. One is general, and that's the discussion boards, the research logs, the quizzes, and then some lower stakes writing. And then 60% of your grade comes from lead-in assignments, which the interview is a lead-in assignment, and then the major assignments. So right now we're working up to our first major writing assignment, and that will be an annotated bibliography where you show me your research. And this interview is a lead-in assignment, so that will go into the 60% category. So you don't want to get a 0. As a matter of fact, you don't want to get any zeros in this class because zeros really do affect your grade. I had several students last semester who missed some of the 40% category assignments, and it brought their grade down by a letter grade. So you don't want to do that. So anyway, if you have any questions, please contact me. I will tell you that this week my son is graduating high school. Some of you may be graduating as well. It's a busy time. I will get back to you. I will respond to emails. I probably won't hop back on for any videos or anything until next week, but if you need any specific questions answered, I'll be glad to answer those. And I look forward to seeing your interviews. I think they're always fun to read. And again, if you have questions, don't hesitate to contact me. Have a great week.